Who's here? Who is it? Go get him. Go get him. Who is it? Who is it?
Well, this is what a typical morning looks like doing chores. I came to check on the boys and figured I might as well film this. So they are late sleepers. They're just waking up. There's Crispy. There's Red. Red's a little bit of a night owl. We hear the feeder opening and closing until about 9:30 or so. Crispy had already been in bed. This is like multiple days in a row now. And then there you go. He wakes up and goes right to eat. That's all he does. So Crispy's usually in bed just after sunset, but Red stays up for a little while. So we checked them last night. They got food, they got water, they're good. It got down to 37 last night. That was the first night without the heat lamp, and they stayed nice and warm. So it's supposed to get cold the next few days, but I think they'll be fine without the heat lamp. So they're eating out of the feeder just fine. I've had Red for 2 days now, and Crispy for almost a week. So they're good to go. I'll probably end up putting the electric fence gate in with them tomorrow. They kind of settled down. They were fighting a little bit the first 2 days just to establish dominance, but I think they got that figured out now. I don't think they were fighting yesterday, so probably end up putting that electric gate in there tomorrow, and then get them used to it. So then we can take them out of that pen and move them out either next to the girls or just move them to a different area, because they're gonna end up tearing that up, and I don't want to leave them there too long. So all the girls are doing well. Wilmer, the white one over there, gray one I guess, he's crowing. And I think we heard last night or yesterday afternoon we were working on the house, and I'm pretty sure another one was crowing or attempting to crow. It sounded like a broken children's toy or something that's running out of battery. So we'll see if there's another one that's about ready to crow. They are just about 4 months old now, so I don't know if that was a crow or not, but just about 4 months old. So hopefully they start laying in the next month, end of January. We're hoping they start to lay. This one's kind of cool. It's all brown. He's got one white feather. That's the only spot on that he's got a white feather. It's one white feather. And we think that's actually a rooster. So I think we might have, we thought 4 roosters, but I think we got 5. So now that it's winter, chores are really pretty easy. We don't have any feeder pigs, well, besides Red now, but the chickens, we move them at night because they got that automatic door. So we move them at night after they go inside the coop. So they're usually good. Sometimes I'll do that, just knock the feed down, but sometimes I don't even do that in the morning. Their water's good. If it gets real cold, I'll have to come out and break the ice on their water, but other than that, chickens are good. The pigs, I gotta go get their feed, I forgot it. But the girls we're limiting their feed. So Apple's up, Mabel's still sleeping. They're usually sleeping. I'll go get their feed real quick. So like I said, we're limiting their feed because we don't want them to get too big, because then they won't be able to breed. So we're giving them, the rule of thumb is a pound of food per month of age. So they are almost 10 months. So we're giving them about 20 pounds of food plus food scraps. So they're actually getting more than 20 pounds. We're giving them 20 pounds of grain. And then whatever food scraps we have, they're getting those as well. We may switch that when the boys get a little bit bigger and give the boys the food scraps, and then just give the girls the grain, but we'll see on that now. So but they'll sit here for 15-20 minutes and eat most of the feed, and then I've just been giving it to them all in the morning, but then they'll take a break and then come back. So they're getting pretty good size, I would say. This one's Apple. She got the big, kind of looks like an apple on her butt. That's how she got that name. And then this one's Maple. So they're getting pretty big, pretty good size. And yeah, they've been in this paddock for, oh, what is today? Today's a Thursday. So I got to move them on Saturday. So today's day 10 in this paddock, so they're doing pretty good. This one had a lot more grasses in it than brambles, but then once we get back there, there's a lot more brambles. So we got the next paddock set up, and they're just working their way back and forth here in the front, and then hopefully by the time they're ready to breed, we can get them up to the forest, which we still have to clear a whole bunch of junipers out of there because it is so heavy. We're not going to be able to put a fence line up. So that's a project we got to get going on. My brother's actually coming in town, so we may work on clearing some of that. We've been doing the feed in the barrels thing for 6 months or so. We've had the pigs for 6 months, I think. So it's working out. We just buy these barrels used from somebody local, and they're not all great. They might look great, but I think we have 2 or 3 that we didn't notice it when there was grain inside of the barrels, but after the grain was empty and we had them stacked, we noticed there's some kind of moisture getting in, so they're all moldy, which we can clean out. And if they're not getting wet when there's grain in it, it's not the end of the world. But we may have to get a couple more. So it's been working out pretty well so far. it's kind of a pain when everything's iced over or really cold. It's a little bit of a pain to come out here and open up these barrels, but once we get a barn or a garage and we can put the feed inside of there, we'll have a little bit less issues. So that's the pig feed. I usually keep a couple buckets ready to go, and then for the chicken feed, I ended up buying bags. We ended up buying bags last time we did a feed order because we didn't think we'd go through 1,000 pounds. So we have 8 bags of this still. I just finished up the bulk chicken feed, so hopefully we don't have too much of this left over, but once they start laying, we got to switch them from the starter feed to layer feed. So we'll see what happens. Pig feeds probably get till February, so I kind of want the chickens to start laying sooner. So that we can get eggs, but at the same time, we have all this feed, so I'm not opposed to them waiting till mid-February to start laying, because that 50-pound bag usually lasts them about a week. So we haven't busted in any of the bags yet, but we usually put about 50 pounds in feed a week. A full bucket holds about 30 pounds, and I was putting that in about every 4 days or so. So 50 pounds should last them about a week, which I guess I could go fill up their feeder right now while we got everything all opened. So it's supposed to be a 50-pound feeder. We'll see how much of this 50-pound bag we can get in there, even though there's already some feed in there. And they found a new spot to hang out. They're jumping up on top of the chickshaw, but luckily none of them have got outside of the net. Our neighbors did stop over with their dog, and I don't know what spooked them. Their dog, they just have a little tiny dog, and the dog was probably 25 feet from the net, and one of the chickens got spooked, and one of the roosters flew outside the net. So luckily he just kind of hung out, but for whatever reason they got spooked. And the dog wasn't even close. So I will say this string on these New Country organic bags is the best. I don't know how many bags of charcoal that I've opened that those draw strings never work. But every bag of this that I've opened has worked perfectly. Ah, it's a 40-pound bag, not a 50-pound bag. That's why it all fit in there. All right, well, I decided to give them a little more feed. That'll, shoot, that's 30 pounds in there plus what they had, so that should last them a while. But they're drinking out of their water just fine. I'm gonna have to get the big 60-gallon water, but this 5-gallon one, they're just drinking down to the nipple about every day. So they're drinking plenty of water, eating plenty of food. Well, this is a quicker video, but just wanted to make it real quick and hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. We didn't get a video out like we wanted to on Christmas, but we hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and we wish you all the best in the new year. Wish you all a Happy New Year. We have a lot of work ahead of us this year, so we're looking forward to getting really going on the house. We're hoping to be in the house by the end of this year, so Christmas of 24, we're hoping to be in the house. But a lot has to go our way for that to happen. So we'll leave this video here, and we thank you all for subscribing and supporting us over the last 6 months, and the continued support we'll get in the future. And we'll see you on the next video. Hey, who's here? Who's here? Who is it? Go get him. Go get him. Who is it? Who is it?